Sixth, we return to the preposition min, which you learned in your vocabulary of Chapter 2, glossed as from. We've already looked at the prepositions which are prefixed in Chapter 6, and you have had several other independent prepositions in your vocabulary. Min needs special attention because it ends in a noon, which creates a complexity when it precedes another word. Remember from Chapter 2, Section 2, that a noon will tend to assimilate to a following consonant in many cases. When you use the preposition min with an object, there are two ways that you can do this. Either, one, min will be connected to the following word by a makef, a high dash. Like in Genesis 2:22, we have min ha-adam, from the, definite article, man. This connecting high dash is called a makef. Secondly, the preposition min can also be prefixed to the following word. When it is prefixed, the noon of the min will assimilate into the following consonant, causing it to double, as indicated by a dagesh forte. So if you have safa, a tongue, and you want to say from a tongue, min plus safa, you get mi sa fa, from a tongue. The noon of the min has assimilated, and the presence of the dagesh in the scene tells you that there was once a noon there, which has now been doubled. Note as well then that you have an open syllable. The writing system is standing for mis sa fa. So the beginning of the word with min prefixed is a CVC, a closed syllable. Remember though, we won't write two sins in a row. Instead, we will write one and indicate the doubling with a dagesh. Three details are worth noting about the prefixing of min to a following word. First, when the word to which the min is prefixed begins with a Bagad Kafat letter, the dagesh lene that had been in that letter will become a dagesh forte. For instance, min, from, plus bain, sun. The dagesh in bain is a dagesh lene, just simply the hard pronunciation of the sound to start the word. However, when the noon assimilates into the bait and causes a doubling of the bait, the dagesh now, mi-bain, is a dagesh forte, a doubling dagesh. There are two bait sounds in a row in this word. Second, when the word to which the min is prefixed begins with a guttural consonant, typically the hirek of min, the I vowel, will change to a tsere via a compensatory lengthening. Occasionally the hirek will be preserved via virtual doubling, but most often you will have a compensatory lengthening. So eretz, which begins in the guttural aleph, when you prefix it with min, the noon attempts to assimilate into the aleph. Because aleph is a guttural and cannot mark doubling with any kind of dagesh, we have a compensatory lengthening and we get me eretz, from a land. And third, when the min is prefixed to a word that has a definite article on it already, the same rules of compensatory lengthening apply. However, the special case is that unlike the other prefixed prepositions, when you add min to the front, the hey of the definite article remains. So ha gedud, when you add min to the front, the hey here is the definite article. You see the patak vowel under it, and you see the doubling of the following letter. In the case of min as a prefix, the noon of the min will seem to disappear because it assimilates. Because hey is a guttural and cannot double, you have a tsere, the compensatory lengthening of the vowel on the min. But unlike something like a bait or a lamed prefixed, the he of the definite article is retained. So you have mehagdud.